struggle with a lot of various different things. But one thing I struggle with is taking the short side of the market. I understand the break and retest. It's my go-to thing, as you know, you taught and everything. And you know, I could take a breakout of a stock, could be Microsoft, something could be up 1%, 2%, and it breaks above previous day high, and I wait for it to come back. I take the retest, and it can go long.
Yep.
But somehow when it's reversed,
Mm-hmm.
if something breaks below previous day low, I have a tough time getting short. And it's the same thing, right? Except the stop goes on the other side of the line. Except, you know, so
Right.
it's the same exact thing. But for some reason, my mental state of mind, like if a stock is down a percent or 2%, I'll say, oh, it's already down 2%. I can't short it now. But I have no problem buying something up 2%. And then what ends up happening, I don't short it. It breaks below previous day low. It starts to sink lower. And then I end up trying to catch a bottom and get beat up.
Right, yeah.
And I don't know how to flip my mentality to really try to be short when it's right. For some reason, like, it seems more scary, even though it's exactly the same thing, except, like I said, the stop goes on the other side of the line.
Yep.
I don't understand why mentally I can't wrap my head around that.
Yeah, so, I mean, I think, Scott, I think a lot of people prefer one side, right? They trade one side better or see it better, right? I think that's pretty normal. And I think probably the reason you want to try to catch the short side is because you see that, you know, it often is a pretty good opportunity, right? Like it moves very quick when it is moving lower. And that's sort of a mechanic of the market, right? It's like a stair step higher, elevator lower. And it's typically how it works. And so you look at those downside days and you're like, damn, you know, that was a huge opportunity. It moves so quick. You know, it was such an aggressive drop. And I want to take advantage of that. And so I could understand your reasoning for wanting to catch that. And like you said, it is exactly the same. There is no difference. Now, I think the key thing here, Scott, is building a strong bias, or building not bias in a good way, building a strong plan and conviction what you believe maybe the overall market is going to do that day, or what the overall market is in, right? What kind of structure it's in. So are we in a uptrending bullish market structure, or are we in a more bearish downtrending structure, right? And following that market structure to give you confidence in, let's say, something like Microsoft or in individual equity, right? And so, you know, for me as well, right, when the market, I'll go over to the charts here for people watching. I mean, when the market's in a uptrending move like we saw in April, May into June, there's really no reason for you to even look for shorts, to be honest, Scott. I mean, it's not even necessary. You don't need to trade that side. The market was so visibly moving higher in such a strong vertical uptrend. And so really, there's really no reason to even be looking for the short side. Now, recently, and why you're probably calling, is because recently you've probably gotten a little taste of like, hey, shit, you know, the market's been moving lower. I want to be taking advantage of that move recently as we've sort of slid into mid or late June, early July, right? And so when I look at the chart, you know, we can clearly start to see how this was starting to structure lower. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm actually going to do this right here, right? And so you can see that, you know, when the market has those previous lows and the market is creating that break and retest rejection, right, and starting to create that bearish structure, that's when we can sort of say, all right, I do believe coming into today that I like the downside on the NASDAQ. I think tech is going to see a rejection here, and I want to follow that with the you know, individual equities that I'm trading. And I think that confidence to take that trade is going to have to come from what you're thinking the overall market does. Because if it's just like a, you know, one-off, you know, I think this individual stock might move lower, it's hard to like fully get a good feel for that, right? And so like today, for example, I didn't want to short anything into this NASDAQ low. Right? That's just not what I wanted to do. I didn't want to short into our demand level today. And so coming into the day, I'm not going to look to play any kind of break and retest shorts if the NASDAQ is above that level, right, on the NASDAQ futures. If we, you know, start to break under levels like we did on the SPY today, we actually broke below previous day low today on the SPY, then I would, you know, maybe look to see if that sets up, but I'm going to still be cautious of, you know, the overall market condition. So I think a good game plan coming into the day maybe builds that confidence, because this is really a confidence problem, right? It's not a strategy problem. You see the strategy, like you said, you understand the break and retest. It's a mental block, right? And so like today, if you go to, PDL on the SPY, there was a pretty decent break and retest rejection of PDL today. It was sort of right here. You have previous day low right at this red line, and you had some decent fades under that previous day low on a nice break and retest rejection and another retest rejection. And so taking that trade, like you said, Scott, is this trade that you have a hard time doing, right? Looking for that retest rejection to play out. I think, the recommendation here is tough because at the core of it is a mental thing. And, the question is, how do you get over it? I think you just need to have a good feel for the market condition, right? Have a good feel for what you think the bias of the overall market is. And if it is bearish and you think that the downtrend is continuing, then I think you're just going to have to sort of take those shots, right, Scott? I mean, you're going to have to learn through experience, learn through testing it, and there's really no way to get comfortable. Like, I can try to walk you through it verbally, but there's really no better way for you to start to build that muscle and sort of flex that muscle and get stronger with the shorting muscle than just doing it, right? And just like if it's a break and retest of PDL, I'm going to take a shot. I'm going to maybe go small, maybe go light, so it's not, I know I'm not comfortable in this situation. I know this is new to me. So I'll size down and just try to get some repetitions under my belt of shorting these plays and looking for the retest rejection under PDL. There is no better. I actually had a conversation with the group today, Scott, which was, I think, perfect. It goes perfectly with your question. There's nothing worse in trading than hesitation. Okay, there's nothing more that would kill your trading performance or make you underperform. There's nothing worse than hesitation. Hesitation is the killer for traders. The second you hesitate, that you don't trust yourself, that you get in this sort of state of mind that just like pauses and sort of freezes up, it's the killer, right? And I would rather be the person that takes my shots when it's a break and retest to PDL, when I know that this is a good idea, and I just have to go, right? I just have to do it because that's what the strategy is saying, right? It's break and retest PDL, downtrending on the market. If I'm hesitating at those moments, that's the worst thing, right? And that's sort of what you're dealing with. You're hesitating to take that short. And how do you break that hesitation? I love to have a conversation with you, Scott, but I'm going to tell you the honest truth. Nothing's going to help you better than just getting into the market. Do it with some light size, right? So you're not like blowing up your account because you're trying to do something new. Maybe paper trade it. Maybe do it on some props, right? Whatever it might be. But you got to just get the repetitions. There's really no other way. And the only other thing I can give you, right, Scott, the only other thing I can give you is you can flip your charts, which people are saying in the chat. You can flip your charts, right? So take a look at the SPY inverse. And so on TOS, to flip your charts, you just put a negative sign in front of the ticker. So you can do you could do that if you want to have like a maybe a SPY and an inverse SPY chart on next to each other. It might get a little confusing, which is why I probably wouldn't do that. It could get a little bit confusing. But I mean, like you said, I mean, I don't know if you're watching the stream, but if you see this, I mean, this is an absolutely perfect break and retest long, right? Look at that. Previous day high, right? Here's your high. Here's your break and retest. I mean, look how perfect this was today. So previous day high, intraday high. I mean, this is actually one of the cleanest trades of the day now that I look at it. And I agree with you. It looks cleaner on the upside, doesn't it? Right? Doesn't it look cleaner on the upside? Like, this looks so sexy. And then for some reason, when you flip that chart, you're like, right? It's like, it's just for some reason doesn't look as clean.
It's a mental thing for sure for me. I know it's a mental thing.
Yeah.
I know I have to just, it's muscle memory. I just have to keep doing it and doing it.
That's
maybe
it.
I'll lose a little bit, I'll win a little bit, but I have to get accustomed to doing it because it's like some mental thing with me. Like, if the stock is breaking a previous day low, I'll watch it go down, and instead of shorting it, I'll just wait and I'll try to grab a bottom and flip it up, and I end up losing. And it's not the way I want to trade. I don't want to catch a falling knife.
You don't try to be open to both sides.
But, I want to be open to both sides. Exactly. I want to trade price action. I don't want to have a bias long or short. I want it to tell me what to do. But I think it's like you're right. I think it's just a matter of getting in there, small size, and just when it looks like right to short, there's a reason, break pre-market low, previous day low, and just put some small size on and just say, wow, okay, it worked. I made a little bit. Or, look, I could lose a little bit, but the idea was there. But I think it's just a matter of getting accustomed to doing that. But
absolutely.
I think that's what I just have to do. Exactly, I have to do that. I mean, I actually did it today a little bit. I mean, which I did a little bit. It broke a previous day low, and
Yep.
you know, I got short, and you know, and everything, and it worked a little bit, but I was always having trouble with that, and it's just a mental thing with me. I don't know why. Like the short side scares me rather than the long side. I
Well,
don't know why.
here's the last thing I'll tell you, Scott. You don't have to short the market. You don't. Right? So like if you as long as you're not longing incorrectly, if you could say there's nothing wrong with saying, "Okay, I don't want to short, right? I'm not comfortable doing it, but I'm also not going to incorrectly long." Right? And so that's the killer for you, right? You're saying you don't want to short, but then you incorrectly long, which is how you end up losing. But if you just say, "Hey, I'm not going to short, and I'm also don't like the longs here. I'm just going to walk away." And to be honest, Scott, you can be a profitable trader doing that. There's nothing wrong with that. There's probably millions of traders out there who only short, and there's probably millions of traders out there who only long. And so I think it's a good thing to understand both, and I think you should strive to trade both sides, right? But it's not like you are not going to be successful long term if you say, all right, this is just not for me. I don't think that's like, oh, you know, you're not going to be a good trader. There's just going to be days where you're not going to do anything, and that's got to be okay with you because there's going to be clear, you know, downtrending days. I think if you want to take full advantage, and you know, we'll end it here. I think like we said, and you even said when you mentioned when you said, oh wow, that worked, right? That sort of moment in your head, if you keep seeing it where it's like, hey, I tried it, it worked. I tried it, it worked. I tried it, it worked. Get a few of those under your belt, and eventually you're going to be like, okay, I've tried this before, it's worked. And then that hesitation slowly and slowly sort of phases out. And that's, you know, sort of where you got to get to be. Yeah. So I think that's just an experience thing.
Hesitation's a killer, absolutely.
Yep.
All right, thank you, buddy.
You got it, Scott. Have a great rest of your night, man. Hope that helped a little bit.